Hello everyone, good morning. Am I audible? Okay, perfect. Okay. So probably we had some network issues, so that's the reason there was delay in the start of the session. Okay. But not a problem. Okay, so let us try to go ahead with the topic. Okay. So perfect. Right. Great. Okay. So now here, in the previous session here, we saw one of the most easiest topic, okay, and very easy, okay, that is packages and access specifiers, right? So we have seen everything, okay, so make sure you try to understand that in a beautiful manner. So in today's session, I'll try to complete one particular topic, that is nothing but encapsulation. This is one of the most important and the easiest topic you will ever come across. Okay. It's your logical part also will play a role today. Okay. So how smart you are. Okay. Will play a role. Okay. That doesn't mean if you're not able to understand initially, doesn't mean you're dumb. Okay. This you require time to understand. Okay. What is encapsulation? Okay. You will have many definitions for it. Okay. But in simple terms here, I'll give you an example over here. When I talk about a car, okay, car is an object. Okay, car is an object. But when do I call it as a car? When a lot of independent attributes have been combined together, binded together. For example, engine is a separate entity, correct? Engine is a separate entity, right? And then wheels is a separate entity, correct? Similarly, pedal is a separate entity, okay? And then shift gears is a separate entity here. So these are all independent attributes here. See, engine is a separate entity, wheels are a separate entity, brake pedal, accelerator pedal, they're all separate entities. Only when I combine them together, we call it as a car here. Correct. So car is nothing but we are binding or grouping a lot of things together. That is called as encapsulation. Okay. Similarly, I'll give you a quick example, one more example. Okay. Now, when you talk about human body, okay, when do I call a human body? Correct. Legs are separate. Correct. Hands are separate. Correct. Head is a separate entity. Correct. So what did you understand? Legs are separate entity. Hands are separate entity. Head is a separate entity. Only when I combine everything together, put them together, we call it as a human body. Correct. So encapsulation is nothing but we are binding or grouping everything together, okay, in a single entity. So how do you define encapsulation in Java here? Encapsulation is a process of, okay, encapsulation is a process of binding. You can make use of the terminology binding, or you can also make use of the terminology grouping, or you can also make use of the terminology wrapping. Everything means the same. We are putting them together. Okay. Encapsulation is a process of binding or grouping or wrapping. What? Okay. Wrapping. There is something called as variables here. Correct? Variables and methods here. Variables and methods, okay, in a single entity. Okay, we are putting them together in a single entity called as class here, in a single entity called as class. This is called as encapsulation. Sir, what is this, sir? Tricky, sir. Okay, very simple, guys. Okay, we refer these variables as data members. What do we refer these variables as? Data members. And methods as member functions. Member functions. So this is how we are supposed to understand it together here. So I will explain, okay? Okay, I'll make sure you'll all understand. What is encapsulation? Encapsulation is a process of binding data members and member functions in a single entity called as class. In simple terms, there is a variable, there is a method. We are binding them together in a single entity called as class here. Got it? By default, Java supports encapsulation. Do you all agree with this process? How? We have variable, we have method. Where are we storing? Where are we storing? Inside a platform called as class, inside an entity called as class. That is called as encapsulation. Okay, so this is called as encapsulation, but you can use whatever you want. But internally, okay, we call variables as data members and methods as member functions. This is another way of referring methods and variables here. Okay, this is all about it. And they might also add one more part. Okay, we might also protect as well. Okay, we might also protect the data as well. How, sir? How can we protect the data, sir? I will talk about it everything in detail. Okay, and whenever we talk about encapsulation, the best example for encapsulation is, okay, there is something called as Java Bean class. Java Bean class is the best example for encapsulation. Why? Inside Java Bean class, if there is a variable, mandatorily method will be there. If there is a method, mandatorily variable will be there. So they are always binded together. That's the reason Java Bean class is the best example for encapsulation. A normal class also is the best example for encapsulation. But internally, in detail, if we go, the Java Bean class is the best example for encapsulation. And what are the rules for creating a Java Bean class, sir? I will talk about it. So this is all about the entire data. See guys, it's a very simple part. Encapsulation meaning we are binding everything together, putting everything together. So encapsulation is a process of wrapping or binding, okay, putting them together. What? Data members means variables with its related member functions in a single entity called as class. Okay, in other words, it's a process of grouping and protecting data members and member functions in a single entity called as class. Okay, this is the simple definition you might have. Okay, and what is the best example for encapsulation? It is Java Bean class. Okay, the best example for encapsulation is Java Bean class. Got the clarity here? Understood. So now, what are the specifications of for creating Java Bean class? Rule number one, class should be a public non-abstract class. Rule number two, class should be public, class should have, it should have a non-parameterized constructor. And third part is the data members, means variable should be private. And those variables should have respective getter method and setter method. Okay, and then lastly it has to implement a marker interface called as serializable. So there are so many things here, but you can ignore the second rule and you can ignore the last rule. What is interface? What is marker interface? What is serializable? Everything I'll talk about it later. Just don't drop me a message telling, sir, what is serializable? Have patience. Okay, don't ask me now. I'm not going to tell you also. Okay, if you're that, you want to know it now, today itself, you're very curious about it, Google it. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, but if you want me to do it, have patience for it. I cannot do it immediately in a single day. Okay, you have to understand what is interface first, then you have to understand what is marker interface, and then you have to understand what the hell is serializable. Okay, so I cannot do it in a single day. Okay, ignore it. But these are the specifications for creating a Java Bean class. You have to follow 5 rules here, 5 steps here. But you ignore the second rule and the fifth rule as of now. You just follow first, third, and fourth. This is more than sufficient for today. Okay. What is the first rule? Class should be public non-abstract class. Variable should be private, and the method should be public getter and setter method. What is the job of it? I will tell you in a beautiful way. Clear? So let us try to build a Java Bean class here. Okay. First example, you will not understand completely. If you understand, I'm more than happy. If not, I'll give you a couple of examples. Okay. Have patience here. First of all, you have to apply common sense. Okay. Now I will create a public non-abstract class. See, public meaning it's an access specifier, meaning everyone can access public properties. Public, I will create a class and the class name is, we can get it as person. What is the class name? The class name is person. Open curly braces and close curly braces. When I tell public non-abstract class, public is there. Have I used any abstract keyword over here? No. So this is a non-abstract class. If I had used abstract keyword, it's an abstract class. If I do not use abstract keyword, it's a non-abstract class. So I have a public class and the class name is person. And it will have a private data member, meaning private variable. So I will have private, okay, int age, okay, int age. I'm just declaring it, okay. Now I'm not at all initializing the content here, okay. So now it's very simple part, okay. You have to apply pure common sense here, okay. Let me see how many of you have it, okay. Even if you give a wrong answer, it's fine because you went with the flow, okay. So you have a class called as test, okay. Now I will have my main method, public static void main string array of arguments, open curly braces, close curly braces. Now, sir, age is a non-static variable, sir. So I have to create an object. So I will create an object of person. Person P equals to new person of. I created an object. When I create an object, okay, now here this age, okay, is not initialized. So the default value will get allocated here. When I tell new, the object will get created. The address 111 and the address, I mean the reference is P. P is pointing. So since age is a non-static as well as it's not been initialized, the default value will get initialized to what? 0. Now here, when I try to print, okay, what value will be printed here? When I tell p dot age, what will be the output over here? Can you think and tell me? What will be the output, guys? Think and tell me. I want answers from everyone. Okay. What should be the output? Everyone. Okay. Okay. I got a couple of answers, but I want it from everyone. What should be the output? Okay. Okay. Right, guys. Okay, you're all very smart now. Okay, great. This is what I expected here. Okay, so probably majority of you have told in a proper way. Okay, so I'll tell you. Okay, I'm thankful that you are all answering and you are all giving good answers here. Okay, so now here, no one told zero. No one told zero. If you had told zero, no, I would have slapped you left and right. I would have slapped you. Okay, so here, good that no one told zero. Few told, sir. Age might be non-static, might not be initialized also. But this Dabba fellow is a private member. Okay, he is a private member. When anything is private, he can be accessible only within the same class. He can access only within the same class. But I am trying to access the age outside the class here because it's another class. So I created an object because the class is public. You do whatever you want, but the age is private. Since the age is private, he does not give you the permission to access it outside the class. But when you print it, if you told no output, good, it's no output only. But actually speaking in detail, it will throw compile time error, compilation error. It will tell, a programmer, age is a private variable. How can you access it outside? He will scold me nicely. 0, it will not be the output. No output is okay. But in detail, it will throw compile time error. Okay, because we are trying to access age, which is a private property. Okay, we cannot print it. But I want to initialize. I will tell p dot age equals to 20. 20 will get stored into p dot age. But p age is a private variable. I cannot access it. Therefore, the age cannot be printed nor it cannot be initialized. I cannot print also. I cannot initialize also. Why? Because age is private and they can be accessed only within the same class. Got it? This is the problem statement. So we have the variable as private. Therefore, we cannot access it outside the class. Now what I'll do, I will go with the help of a mediator. Okay, I'm not able to access it. No. So therefore, I will have, okay, mediator between me. Okay, that is nothing but getter method and setter method. Okay, how? I will tell you. See, first create a public non-abstract class. Public class and the class name is person. Okay, open curly braces, close curly braces. And now I will have one more class. Okay, one more class here. Okay, what is that particular class name? You can have any class name. I'll just keep the class name as test class and open curly braces, close curly braces. And I will also have the main method. Public static void main string array of arguments, open curly braces and close curly braces. Now, rule number 1 done. I have a public non-abstract class called as person. Rule number 2. Okay, I should have private data member. Private data member meaning private variable. Okay, private a variable called as int. Int is the data type and the variable name is age. I have a private variable called as age. Since the variable age is private, he does not give you the permission to access it outside. But I should have a method in such a way who will initialize the age and who will get the age for me. That's the major reason I will have a method, and that method name is set age. What is the method name? Set age. When I call the set age method, it is initializing the age to some whatever data. Set age is the method name, open parenthesis close and open curly braces close here. This is the scope of set age method. Okay, and that age method should accept a variable called as age. If you could closely observe, this is a local variable and this is a member variable. Got it right? Since the local variables and member variable names are same, always the local variables will dominate. In order to avoid it, I will tell this dot age equals to, what am I supposed to do? I have to write it as age over here. What is the job of setter method? The setter method will accept the age and he is going to initialize the age here. Okay. And is the setter method returning anything? No. Always the setter method return type is void because he's just initializing the data. That's it. He does not return anything. And he should be a public method. Why is he public? Because everyone should be able to access it. This is all about it. Since the variable is private, he does not have direct accessibility outside the class. But still, I should be able to access it. How? With the help of setter method. Set age meaning he is setting the age to so and so value. Okay. Now similarly, I need to have one getter method who will get the data for me. So I will write the getter method name as get age. Get age will get the age. Set age will set the age. That's it. Open parenthesis close and open curly braces close here. Get age is the method name. Open parenthesis close, open curly braces close. And the getter method will always return the age here. Get age meaning it will always return the content. So I will tell return age because when I call the get age method, he has to return the age. Okay. And what will be my return type? It cannot be void. Why? Return age meaning the method is returning age which is of type int. So the data type will become int and then the access specifier will be public again. Why? Because everyone should be able to access it. So the getter method and setter method is always public and setter method return type is void and the getter method return type is based on the value I return. Okay. The setter method will accept the data and he will initialize the data. But getter method will always return. Don't worry about it. I will tell you in detail. So now here I will create an object of person. See, person P equals to new person of. I create an object of person. Now when I tell new, what happened here? One object got created with the address, okay, with the address 111. And who is pointing? P is pointing to that respective object here. Now I have to store the non-static variable age. That age will get initialized to 0. And that getter method, I mean setter method and getter method also will get. Set age method also got loaded. Get age method also got loaded. Now, after that got initialized, I will call the setter method. P dot set age. Okay. P dot set age. Why? Set age is a non-static method and it's a public method. Set age to 20. So now what is happening? Person object P dot set age to 20. So this 20, 20, 20 slowly it goes to this age here. What is the age here? 20. And this is local variable 20. This 20 is getting stored into variable age of the current object. Which is the current object? P. Therefore, in P, the age will get initialized to 20. Similarly, I will get the data. See, P dot get age. Okay, get age. When I call that method, get age, I'm calling that method. When I tell get age, it is returning the age here. You can also write it as this dot age. It works fine. Since there is no local variable, I'm directly using it as age. If there was a local variable, then I had to write it as this dot age. Okay, but it's a good practice to use this keyword. So this dot age meaning which is the current object P. What is P's age here? 20. So the control is slowly coming back. Return 20. 20 got returned. But if a method is returning something, I have to store it into a variable. Correct? So the 20 I will store it into a variable called as age here. And what will be the data type here? The return type is int. The data type will also become int here. And since it is returning and stored here, I have to print the age separately. So what will be the age here? 20. Got it. So when I tell p.getAge, I am calling the method return age meaning 20 was returned here. The 20 returned value is stored into a variable called as age. So now when I print age, 20 will get printed. So if a method is returning, I can directly call it within the print statement as well. We have seen this example as well. P dot get age method. So when I do p.getAge method, from here, what is happening? From here, the control slowly goes to getAge method. Return age meaning return age, return 20. 20 is returned, 20 is printed. This is all about, public non-abstract class, private data members, and its respective getter method and setter method. Okay, handler methods. Okay, data handler methods. Okay, it is handling the data. One is setting the data, one is getting the data. That's the reason we call it as setter method and getter method. Okay, this is all about the entire process of Java Bean class. And I'll tell you why are we doing this also. Okay, but as of now, this is how we are doing it. I'll give you one more example here, but we will execute this program first. Okay, now let me create a new project, and the new project name is, okay, I'll just give it as Encapsulation. I'll just give the project name as Encapsulation. Okay, project got created successfully, and then I need to create a package. Control N, and I can give the package name as com.jspiders, or else you write it as Java Bean. Okay, com.java bean. You can write whatever package name I told you. No, Java Bean is a folder present in com. Okay, under that I will create a class, and the class name is person. Okay, rule number 1. Okay, see here. The class should be a non-abstract class. What is abstract class? I will tell you later. Okay, as of now, just understand this is an abstract class. Why? I have declared abstract keyword. Okay, if I do not have abstract keyword, it's a non-abstract class. Meaning a normal class is only non-abstract class. Okay. Now here, did you all understand the program now? See, package com.javabean meaning there is a folder called as Java Bean that is present into a com folder, and the package is nothing but a folder. So person.java file is present in a folder called as Java Bean. Java Bean is present in com, and class is a blueprint, and public is the access specifier. Rule number 1 done. Class should be a public non-abstract class. I'm done. Second rule, the variable should be private. See, private int age, meaning the variable should be private here. Okay, that is nothing but the data member should be private. I'll have one more class called as test person. Okay, what is that one more class here? That one more class is test person. Now here I will create an object of person here. See, because class is public, no, I can do whatever I want. Okay, person p equals to new person of. I created an object of person, and now when I try to print it, see, sys out p dot age, it will give me a huge error. See, it's giving an error. Why? If I just hover on it, it gives me an error. Okay, wait, I'll just hover on it. If I hover on it, it will give me an error. Oh, why is it not giving? Yeah, perfect. See, The field person dot age is not visible. If I just hover on it, it will tell the field person dot age is not visible here. Why? Because it's a private member. So again, if I try to initialize it also, I cannot access it. See, again, it will give me a huge error. Why? Because age is private, sir. I cannot access it directly. So I have to access it indirectly. How will I access it indirectly? With the help of getter method and setter method. This cannot be done. Okay, this cannot be done. Therefore, I have to access it indirectly with the help of setter method and getter method. Okay. How do we have getter method and setter method here? It's simple. Setter method will set the data and getter method will get the data. So the method name is set. Set what? Age, name, salary. What am I setting? The age, no. I will write the setter method name as set age. Open parenthesis close and open curly braces close here. I have the method name as set age. Okay. Now the set age method should accept the age here. It should accept the age, and that age has to be initialized it within the object here. This dot age equals to age here. Got it? See, set age will accept the age and I will initialize the age. Don't you know what it is doing here? When we did constructors topic also I did this, right? Done. Now setter method return type is always void and it should be accessible everywhere. So that is the reason I make use of public here. So this is a setter method who will set the age here and now it is public. Similarly, I need to have a getter method. How will I have a getter method? Simple. Get what? Age. Get age is the method name. Okay, open parenthesis, curly braces, done. And then it has to return the age. Return age. You can also write it as this dot age also. It doesn't matter at all. Okay, you can also write it as this dot age. Okay, it doesn't throw any error. And what is access specifier? Public. It should be accessible by everyone. And what will be the return type? It's returning an age. Age is of type int. So the return type is int here. This is all about it. Okay. So now here, what is happening over here? Now here, I'll tell p dot set age of the person to 25. Now when I tell p dot set age to 25, what is happening? This 25 will get stored into age and that age will get initialized within the object. Okay. And then p dot get age. When I tell get age, it is returning the age. It has returned the age. That age I will store it into a variable age and I will initialize it within the, I will initialize it here and I will print it here. See, I will just write it as age colon plus age here. So the setter method will set the data and the getter method will get the data, meaning it is returning the data. So I will store it into a variable and I will print it. If not, if a method is returning something, I can directly print it as well. See, get age method. So that way, when I try to do it, I will be able to get my expected output. Just a moment. I have to place my cursor over here in my this part. Okay. And I have to execute it. When I execute it, did I get my expected output as age equals to 25 and 25? Yes. This is called as Java Bean class. Meaning, see, if there are variables, methods are there. If there are methods, variables are there. They're always binded together, grouped together. So this is an example for encapsulation. That is Java Bean class. I will be doing a couple of more examples here, but I want you all to get the clarity here first. I hope you all understood 30 to 40% of what we did, correct? But by the end of the session, you'll be able to relate everything in detail, okay? Blindly, you should be able to create a Java Bean class, okay? If there is a variable age, getter method, setter method, you should be able to create blindly. You cannot by heart this, okay? If you by heart it, you will never clear an interview, okay? I'm challenging you, if you by heart it, you will not be able to clear the mock interview also, okay? So make sure, okay, don't try to by heart it, understand the sequential flow, correct? Can we see one more quick program here so that you'll have better understanding of what we did now? Okay, very good. What is the advantage? Everything I'll tell you later. Okay, now it's a sequential process. Okay, try to digest it as it goes. Okay, don't try to, oh, what happens like this, that. So we'll understand slowly. but the flow, the concept, understand first. Okay. Now here, we'll do it in a beautiful way. Rule number one, sir, public, public non-abstract class. Okay, public class, and the class name is employee. Open curly braces, close. I have a public non-abstract class, meaning it's a simple class. Okay, it's not that non-abstract class meaning it's something new. It's the same old concept, but we are giving one terminology. Okay, it will have a private data member. Private data member means variable. Private string is the variable name. Okay, and the name. Sorry. String is the data type, and name is the variable name. Private meaning it can be accessed only within the same class, and string meaning data type, and name meaning it's the variable. Clear? So now I have a public class and private variable. If the variable is private, I can access it only within the same class. But if I have to access it outside, I can do it indirectly. Indirectly with the help of getter method who will get the data, setter method who will set the data. Now here, sir, how will I create a setter method? Set, what will be the name? Set name. Open parenthesis close, open curly braces close. Sir, is it necessary to always give set name, set name? You give your name, my name also. But it's a good standard, no? If I tell set name, even the dumbest of the dumbest person can easily understand. Oh, set name meaning it is initializing some name, setting the name, right? Similarly, this name has to accept, the set name method has to accept a variable called as name, and that is a local variable, and that is a member variable. So if local variables and member variable names are same, how do you differentiate it? With the help of this keyword. So I will write this dot name, okay, equals to name here. This dot name equals to name over here, and that I have to initialize it with the help of a data here. Got it? And then what will be the return type here? Common sense, sir. Setter method will always set the data, sir. He will never return anything. So it is void. And he should be accessible by everyone. So it is public. Okay, nah. Did I by heart it? No, I understood the structure. So that's the reason I'm able to do it. Right? Ashte. Similarly, how will you create a getter method? Sir, write the name first, sir. Okay, I wrote the name. Get name is the method name. Open curly braces close. Okay, this is the scope of the getter method. This is the scope of the setter method. Right? And the get name method should always return the name. Okay, I will tell return. Return what? Get name meaning he will return the name. Okay, I will return the name. Okay, but what will be the return type? Will it be int? Will it be double? Sir, name is string, sir. So the data type, the return type will be string, sir. Why? Return name. I am returning a string data. The return type is string, and the access specifier is public, so that everyone should be able to access it. So I am done with one program here. Now what is that? Easy. We are done building the important part. I will have a class called as test, open curly braces close, and I will have public static void main. Okay, this is wherein my execution will begin from, right? Now here, I will create an object of employee. Employee E equals to new employee of. I create an object of employee, and then when I tell new, what will happen internally? Sir, object got created, sir. Okay, with the address 111, and the name object name is E. The non-static variable name will get loaded to the default value. What is the default value? Null, sir. Why? It's a string. And the getter method, setter name and get name will get loaded. Set name method is also loaded. Get name method is also loaded. Why? Because they are all a non-static method. Now, if I want to set the name, how will I set the name here? Simple, sir. E dot set name. You can set the employee's name too. Okay. E dot set name meaning E is nothing but employee object. I am employee's name. I am initializing it to Tom here. So set name of Tom meaning from here slowly the control goes to the name. And what is the name here? It is Tom. So name is nothing but Tom. that is getting stored into variable name of the current object, which is the current object E. The name will get initialized to Tom here. Got it? So since it is returning, I can directly make use of print statement. Okay. So I'll tell E dot get name. E dot get name. So control goes slowly, it goes to get name. Return name. Return. What is the name here? It's Tom. Tom is returned and the print statement will directly print the data here. So I will print the data called as Tom here. Got it? I was not in the first example. I was not able to, since the variable was private, I was not able to print also. I was not able to initialize also. But when I made use of getter and setter method, I can initialize it indirectly and I can print it indirectly. So this is what we have understood with the help of getter method and setter method in a beautiful way. Okay, we have understood. Can we do the same old program here, practically here? Okay, you can do it. Why can't we do it? See, in a simple way, I will develop the program. So here, I will create a class, control N, I will create a class called as employee. See, if I just check this box, okay, abstract, now I'll create a public abstract class. See, public abstract class. I shouldn't create an abstract class, non-abstract class. So here I have to remove this abstract keyword. When I remove this abstract keyword, I have created a public class here, meaning a non-abstract class here. Got it? So now here, next part over here, okay, I will have private data members, that is private variables here. So I will write private int id. Okay, that's a private variable. And then I will have a private, one more variable, string name here. So now employee is having two private data members. One is ID and other one is string here. So it is that famous topic here. I can generate it automatically also. How? I will tell you here. Okay. So now here, public non-abstract class, private data members, variables done. Now I should create getter method and setter method. Now how many getter method should I create and how many setter method should I create? It's simple. Sir, I am having two variables. So I should have two getter method, two setter method. If I have 10 variables, I will have 10 setter method and 10 getter method. Okay. So what will be the method name? It's convention. That's it. You have to write set ID. Set ID will set the ID. Okay. Done. Open parenthesis close, open curly braces close. Similarly for name, I will have set name. Who will set the name for me? Got it. So set ID will set the ID. Set name will set the name. Is it mandatory to give set ID, get set name? No. You can give the method name as X also. You can give the method name as Y also. But which looks better? Which looks coding conventions? Which looks easier to understand? Obviously the first rule, no? Set method and get method. Okay, I have two methods. Similarly, I should have two more methods. Get ID will get the ID and get name will get the name. Did I by heart something over here? Absolutely no. So I know the flow. Okay, it's very easy. So set ID will set the ID, set name. Get ID, get name. So totally four methods I have. Got it. Now here, setter method will always set the data. So it will accept a variable called as ID and that ID have to initialize it over here. This dot ID equals to ID. So is it returning anything? No, setter method he will not return. So he is void. And it's public. Why? Because everyone should be able to access. No. So the access specifier all getter and setter method is public always. But return type will depend. Setter method is always void. Set name, he will accept the name. Okay, set name, he will accept the name and that name is stored within the object using the below instruction. This dot name equals to name here, right? Return type, sir, setter method, sir, he will only set, he will not return anything. So it's void. Public access specifier, got it. Similarly, getter method. Okay, getter method, what will he do here? He will get the data, meaning he has to return that. Okay, so here I have to tell return ID. Okay, return ID. Got it? So when I tell return ID, get ID meaning he has to return the ID. When I tell return ID here, okay, what is it supposed to do? The return type is int. And what is the access specifier? Public. Why? Because everyone should be able to access it. Okay. And what is the job of get name? He has to return the name. Return name. And the access specifier is public for sure. And the return type is string. Why? Because I'm returning a string data. Got it, guys. It's all about pure understanding. Okay. So this is all about the data. If you want, you can have the curly braces in the same line. Okay. As I told you here, you can have the curly braces in the same line. So this is the industry standard which we follow here. Got it? Got it? This is all about it. You have built your own Java Bean class, okay, which is a very, very good concept in an interview here. Okay. But if you want to generate it automatically also, no, I can do it. See, I'll do one command over here. Okay, generate getter and setter method, and I will select all. See, when I tell OK here, automatically getter method and setter method will appear. See, did I do anything over here? No, automatically we did. So that's how Eclipse will play a role here. Okay, that's how Eclipse will play a major role. What is the shortcut key? I will tell you later. See, Alt Shift S. When I tell Alt Shift S, I will get this pop-up. Under that we have generate getter and setter. Once I click on it, so it's telling, oh, already created. So now here I'll remove this. Okay, see, Alt Shift yes, Alt Shift yes. When I tell Alt Shift yes, it is asking, do you want getter and setter method? Yes, click on it. So it's asking, do you want getter and method for ID? Yes. For name? Yes. Select those box or tell select all, and you have to just write OK. So automatically, the getter method and setter method will appear here in a beautiful format here. This is how we will generate getter and setter. Whatever we did here, we got it. But don't try to use the shortcut key. You do it on your own. Okay, later you will understand. Okay, now here I have a method class here, and the class name is we'll take it as test employee. Okay, do you want main method? I'll select this box and tell finish. See, main method also appears over here. Now I have to create an object of employee emp equals to new employee. Okay, now what am I supposed to do here? Okay, so here in simple way, I have to initialize the ID. Initially, if I try to print, see, sys out emp dot get name plus emp dot get ID. When I try to get the name and ID here, what will be the output? The default values, guys. Once we create an object, the default values will get allocated. No. So once when I execute it, I will get null and 0. Why? Because the default value for name and ID is 0. Correct. So once when I create an object over here, the default value is 0 and null will get stored. When I tell get ID, he's returning the ID. So it is initially 0. Get name, he's returning the name, initially null here. That's the reason, right? So now I will set the data. How will I set the data here? I will set the data in a beautiful manner. How? See, emp dot set name. I set ID to 101. I'm setting the ID to 101, and then emp dot set set name here. Set name to Tom here. So I have set the name to Tom and ID to 101. And later I will print it. Since it is returning, you can do however you want. Name colon, you can write emp dot get name. Similarly, ID, how will you do it? ID colon emp dot get ID. Oh, I'm so sorry, it's ID. Okay. Now when we execute it, did we get the expected output? See, initially it was that. Okay, later I have initialized the actual content here. So that way it becomes very easy. If not, you can make use of the first way. Okay, how? You call the getter method, store it into a variable and print it. But it is 2 lines. Code complexity, have to reduce it. So that's the reason I'm printing it directly. Got it? So this is what we call it as Java Bean class. Okay, this is what we call it as what? Java Bean class. How good we can implement it in real time. Okay, this is all about it, guys. It's no rocket science here. It's a simple Java program which you are supposed to understand here. Okay, I hope you have got the clarity about how do we build a Java Bean class. Got the clarity now? Okay, so there are a couple of questions here. I shall try to answer it. Before that, okay, let me try to revise once. Okay, first of all, guys, okay, see here. what is Java Bean class here? Okay, what is encapsulation basically? See here, guys. We have variables. We have methods. We call variables as data members and we call methods as member functions. Okay, that's it. So now here, what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is a process. Okay, it's a process of binding. Binding means grouping. Grouping means wrapping. Okay, the process of binding data members and member functions in a single entity. We are binding data members and member functions in a single entity called as class here. That is called as encapsulation. Okay, that's all about it. So now, see, it's a process of binding data member with its related member functions because they both are dependent. No, see, if there is ID, okay, see here, if there is ID, that is when I can have the data. See, getter method and setter method is dependent on the variable ID. Why? Because we are trying to access that ID only. So it's a process of binding, okay, data members with its respective member functions in a single entity called as class. Or in other words, it's a way of grouping and protecting data members and member functions in a single entity called as encapsulation. Which is the best example? Java Bean class. What are the specifications for creating Java Bean class? 5 specifications. But these are all important, but I'll do it later, not now. Okay? 3 rules mandatory. Class should be non-abstract class, variable should be private, and respective getter and setter method. Do you need to by heart it? No, simple. Public non-abstract class, private variables, public getter and setter method. Ashte, mugitu, done. Okay, got the clarity? So we took a couple of examples we took the example of person, wherein we had variables age, and then we had getter and setter method, and we accessed it outside the class. Again, private ID and name and getter and setter method, and we were accessing outside the class. And I told you the shortcut key to get it as well. Got it? And you can also dynamically, okay, dynamically accept the values using scanner class also. Okay, accept using scanner class as well. Okay, tell enter name, enter ID, and that you can pass it over here as well. Okay, you can accept the values using scanner class as well. That is depending on you here. Got it? So this is all about it. Clear everyone here? Okay. So now here, there are a couple of questions here. I'll try to answer here. So there is one answer here. Okay, I'll read out. So to summarize, encapsulation means a class should have only private variables and they can be accessed outside the class using public method. The method to assign private variable is setter and to one access is getter. For convention, we prefix perfect. Okay. So whatever they have told here, it's absolutely valid. Okay, I'll copy paste it in the chat box. You can also read. So encapsulation means whatever you have told. Okay, we are trying to bind them together. Okay, is encapsulation used only for private variables? Yes, majority of the time. If I make it as, see, if I make it as public, okay, I can access this ID directly. Okay, why will I require getter and setter method? Got it. Since I made it as private, that is the reason I was able to access only within the class. If I make it as public or default or protected, I can access it outside, right? So therefore, getter and setter methods, typically speaking, okay, we use it only for private attributes here, not for public attributes. Okay, so we use it only for private. Clear? So this is one such program, and one more part over here is uh, to achieve encapsulation, the class should be non-abstract, which should have only private variables and which can be accessed outside the class only with public methods. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, whatever you told, it's absolutely the same. Okay, so see, public non-abstract class, private data members, public getter method and setter method. You can have whatever prefix over here. Get meaning is getting, set meaning it is setting. That's just for a good coding convention, coding standard. That's it. Okay. This is all about encapsulation. Got it? So now tell me, I'll talk about a few more things here. But as of now, any queries here? Any questions do you all have? Any questions do you all have? Guys, quickly, any questions, anyone as of now? Very good. Okay, perfect. So we all got, okay. There is one question. Why is the name Java Bean class? Okay, why do we call it as Java Bean? I need to go and ask James Gosling for it. Okay, so because even I don't know. Okay, see, I'll also tell. Why is it called as a variable? Okay, I don't know why they kept as variable. They have done it and we are just utilizing it. They could have done it as struct also. Why they gave the name called as class only? So it has a different meaning. Okay, why is it Java Bean? You do research on it. Okay, even I'm not sure of it. Why the hell did they keep it as Java Bean? Okay, they should probably have one reason. Okay, but which I'm unaware of it. Okay, so you can explore on it. Great. Okay, so we're done with it. But now, what is the advantage of it, sir? What is the advantages, sir? Okay, I will tell you here. Okay, one part. I will have a class called a student. Okay, it's a public non-abstract class. Simple, public non-abstract class. It will have a public variable, public int age. Okay, now I'll have one more class called as test student. Okay, I did it in a quick way because I just wanted to explain it in a easy manner. Okay, so now I'll have my main method over here. Okay, so let us try to understand over here. Okay, now here, see guys, I will create an object because it's absolutely non-static over here. So I will create an object of student. Right now, since this variable is public, I can access it directly. See, s dot age equals to 20. Okay, and then I will tell sys out s dot age. I'm printing the age here. Okay, so now when I execute the program here, will I get the expected output here? Absolutely, I will get the expected output as 20. Perfect. But now, comparatively, which is better? Which has good readability here? If you could closely observe here, see, set age to 25. We easily understood that we are setting the age to 25. Get age meaning, oh, I'm getting the age here. I'm printing it. Easy. But now when I tell s dot age equals to 20, readability is comparatively better in the first example which I give. This is one way of understanding. Okay. Readability is comparatively better in the first example. Now when I tell system.out.println s dot age. Okay, what is s dot age? It's a bit tricky. But when I tell get age, I'm getting the age. Set age, I'm setting the age. So the readability is comparatively better in Java Bean class. Clear? And the second part, what is the second advantage? Okay. Now here, I can even set the age to minus 20. Do you all agree? When I execute it, I am able to initialize it to minus 20. But logically speaking, can any student's age be negative value? Absolutely no. Okay. So, but I'm still able to initialize it. So I have to protect the data from illogical initialization. Okay. I have to protect the data from illogical initialization. Therefore, what am I supposed to do here? The first rule what I'll make here is I will make this guy as private. As soon as I make it as private, no, I am not letting them to handle, access it directly. Because if I give them the direct accessibility, if I make it as public here, they're accessible directly. I can set to some illogical initialization. I can set to some random values which are not at all applicable. Okay. But in order to make it perfect, in order to make it validation, so I will make it as private. As soon as I make it as private, I cannot access it directly. Therefore, indirectly, I will have one setter method. Set age, open parenthesis close, open curly braces close. He will accept the age here. And I will perform some validation. If age is greater than 0, if the age is greater than 0, age initialize. I'll just write it as age initialized, and I will initialize the age. That is this dot age equals to age here. That way I can perform validation as well. Else I can have one. Okay, I'll just write it as age cannot be initialized. Okay, age cannot be initialized. That way, I'm just trying to print the actual content here. And the return type is void of a setter method, and the access specifier is always public here. This is all about the actual content of getter method and setter method. Got it? I hope you all got the clarity about what is happening over here. Okay, so let me show it to you. See, Now, since the age is private, okay, I have not given direct access. Okay, I have hidden that variable. Okay, I have hidden that data member, I have hidden it. So he cannot access it directly. If I want to access it, I will tell s dot set age to 25. So this 25 is getting stored into variable age. Okay, and I check. Is 25 greater than 0? Yes. Age initialized and the age will get initialized to 25. Got it? See now when I executed, what will be the output here? See, age initialized. I got the output as age initialized. Similarly, if I write it as minus 25, I'm trying to set the age to minus 25. Minus 25 stored into age. Is minus 25 greater than 0? No. It goes to the else block. Age cannot be initialized. Why? Because it's a negative value. Because I shouldn't be able to initialize. See, age cannot be initialized. I can perform, okay, validation. I can protect the data from illogical initialization. Okay, but if I make it as public, I can access it directly. So wherein I can initialize to some random data as well. So in order to protect and bind them together, we make use of Java Bean class. Okay, I can also have a getter method, get age. See, get age, and I can return this dot age also. I can tell this dot age. Public is the access specifier and int is the return type. Okay. So now if I want to print the age here, see, I'll tell s dot get age. That's it. So when I try to print it, look at the output here. See, age cannot be initialized. Therefore, hence the default value 0 is only there. But if I just write it to plus 25 here, what will happen over here? See, age initialized. What is the age now? 25. That way, I can protect the data from illogical initialization. Got the clarity here? So these are the advantages here. Okay. Validation can be done, meaning I can protect the data from illogical initialization, and the readability is comparatively better when I use Java Bean class. So that's one of the major advantages of encapsulation. Got it? And it is flexible as well. Data can be made either write only or read only. Sir, what does it mean, sir? Simple way of understanding. See, now guys, I will have a beautiful class here. Okay, I will have a beautiful class. Imagine it is employee. Okay, employee. It has a private variable. Imagine it is ID. Okay, it is private. Okay, minus meaning it is private. Okay, I don't want you all to confuse here. I will just write it as there is a private member and that member is ID. Okay, now can I access it outside the class directly? Can I access it outside the class directly? No, this is another class test. Okay, now can I access this ID which is private outside the class here? No. So I should have getter method and setter method, correct? If I have only getter method, I can only get the data. Okay, that is nothing but read only. I can only get the data, but I cannot set the data. If I have only setter method, I can only write the data. Write only, meaning I can only keep on modifying the data, but I cannot read the data. But if I have both here, if I have getter method also and setter method also, it is nothing but read and write here. Got the clarity? Understood? See, for example, okay, if you take a class called as employee, imagine your ID is initialized to 101. Okay, but can we modify the ID once it is created? No. If you're working in a company for 3 years, your ID will remain the same for all the 3 years here. Correct. So you should have only getter method, no setter method. Why? Because you should only be able to read the ID. You should be only able to get the ID, but you shouldn't be able to modify. See, similarly, if I have a variable called as salary, yearly I keep on appraisal. Okay, I keep on incrementing it. Salary 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. I should have only setter method. Okay, wherein I should be able to write the data. Okay, keep on modifying. No getter method. Why? Because I shouldn't reveal it to everyone. Okay, what is my salary? I should keep it to myself. Okay, I shouldn't tell it to everyone. So I will have only write only. Okay, salary will keep on modifying yearly appraisal. So write only. ID, it is fixed. So it is read only. If you want both getter method and setter method, it's designation. Okay, your current designation is associate software engineer. then you'll come to a software engineer, then senior software engineer. So you should be able to get the data also, set the data also. So that is nothing but read and write. So this is all about, okay, you can make the data as either read only or write only. If you have only setter method, write only. Getter method, read only. If you have both getter and setter, it's nothing but the data here. So this is all about encapsulation. Okay, we are binding and protecting data members and member functions in a single entity. Okay, so this is all about the entire process here. Okay, so now here there are a couple of questions here which I shall try to answer here. The first question is, there was one question, no, see, summarization. One first rule is public non-abstract class. Second rule, only private variables. And third one is public getter methods and setter methods. Okay, this is what is encapsulation. Okay, and I have confirmed it. This is what is called as encapsulation. Okay, and the second part is, okay, why is the name a Java bean? As I told you here, based on a lot of research, they would have kept the name as Java bean. Okay, even I'm not sure of it. Why the hell is it Java bean? Okay, just explore on it. Okay, they'll get to know it because they would have some standard structure to keep it. Okay, second one is, okay, we are supposed to understand, but then the initialization based on checks could be achieved through constructors too, isn't it? Yeah. So constructors can be done. Constructors can also be used over here. But here, what if you want to modify it? Okay, what if you want to modify it? It will become a problem. For example, okay, just here, for example, oh, what happened to my system? Just a minute, guys, just a minute. One minute, there's some issue. Oh, open Eclipse. Something happened. One moment. One minute, guys, one minute. Great. So now here, look here. In this way here, see. I'll tell you. I got the clarity here. I'll tell you. See, I'll have a class. Okay, imagine the class name is. We have a class called as employee. We'll take the car here. Okay, we'll take the car here. I will have a private variable, private int cost of that car here. Okay, and then I will initialize it with the help of a constructor. Public. Okay, I'll have a constructor name, and he will also take the cost. Okay, and I can also provide it. Okay, see here I'll write it as this dot cost equals to cost here. Okay, now here, okay, we can perform some validation also. If the cost is greater than 0, you can initialize it here. Okay, now here, how will you print it? See, I will create a class called as test car. Okay, car, and I'll have my main method wherein the execution will start. So when I create an object car c equals to new car of, I will give it as 100. Okay, I will give it as 100. Okay, so now here, once you have set the data, so what happens? 100 will go here. Okay, this 100 is stored in the cost here, and you will write one if condition. If cost is greater than 0, that is wherein you are trying to initialize. Very good. Okay, perfect. Okay, whatever you told is absolutely valid. You can perform some validation in the constructor. Great. Okay, so now here I want to print it. Okay, I want to print it. So if I try to print it c.cost, it will give me an error. Okay, wait, I'll show it to you in a beautiful way now. Now you'll be able to understand. See here, you have a variable called as a class called as car. You have a private variable, and you are initializing it with the help of a constructor, and you're performing some validation as well. Got it? So if the cost I am trying to pass here is 100, 100 will go here. Is 100 greater than 0? Yes, the cost will get initialized. Now I cannot access the cost. Why? Because it's a private variable, so I cannot access it. So I should mandatorily have one getter method. Correct? I should definitely have one getter method. Get cost here. Okay, get cost, and it has to return the cost. Return, I'll write it as cost here. Okay, now, and the return type is int, and the access specifier is public. We know to create a getter method. No, I've just created one getter method. See, I've created one getter method. That's it. Got the clarity? So here I have to write it as c dot get cost here. Okay, so here the cost got incremented. Now when I execute it over here, cost is 100. Now imagine here I have to increase the cost. Now I have to change the cost in to 10,000. What will I do now? It was 100. No, I have to change it to 200. Will I create a new object then? Will I create a new object? Car C1 equals to new car? No, the same existing object, I need to modify the cost also. So how will I do it here? I have to have a setter method now. So I should have the setter method also. Now the same logic, I have to write it down over here. Okay, the same logic, I have to write it down over here as well. The return type is public and it is nothing but cost here. So with the help of a constructor, okay, I was able to initialize it only once here. Okay, public void is the return type. Okay, so what happened over here? So set cost meaning I can set the data to n number of times. See, c dot set cost to 200. After that, I will get the cost. Okay, well after that I'll get the cost. Again, if I want to modify, c dot set cost to 300. Okay, so with the help of a constructor, you'll be able to do it only once. Okay, only once you can initialize it. You cannot see cost I have incrementing with the help of setter method. Got it? With the help of constructor, once you initialize, one car object got created with the value of the cost is 100. That's it. One object got created. In the same object, you need to keep on modifying. No. But when will the constructor get invoked? Only when we create a new object. But in the same object, we will have a setter method to modify. Got it? So I hope you got the clarity now. Okay, what is the job of this entire data here? Got it? Perfect. Because see, once I'll tell you one more scenario here. Okay, guys, I'm taking a lot of time today, but it's for your pure, clarity purpose. Okay, I don't refer it as wasting time. It's all knowledge. You're getting the complete knowledge here. Okay, see here, guys. See, I'll explain in a beautiful way here. Understand? Okay. Now imagine, okay, you have a class, see for example, student. Okay, you have a class student here, and he will have one private variable. Okay, private int age. Okay, and I will initialize it with the help of a constructor. Okay, you will have a constructor and you will initialize it with the help of a constructor. So what happened here? So when you create student s equals to new student and you will pass the age to 20. Okay, so one object got created. Okay, one object got created wherein the age got initialized to 20. Why? Because I passed it to the constructor. Now the age will get incremented. Okay, 21, 22, 23. But I have to keep on modify this only. No, 21, 22, 23. The same student's age should get incremented. That is the reason I will have respective getter method and setter method. Setter method is to keep on modifying. Getter method is used to get the data. But constructor can be invoked only once. No, when we create one object, only once it will get invoked. But for reinitializing it later, getter and setter method. Got the clarity? This is all about it. Okay, and I hope you all got the clarity. And there's one more question. Sir, can you write the same code using scanner class? 101%. Why can't we do it? Okay, so if you talk about the previous example which we saw here, test student, see, first of all, what are we supposed to do here? Scanner scan equals to new scanner, and I have to pass system.in. Why system.in? Because I want to accept dynamic input. See what I did here? I created an object of scanner class and I passed system.in and I imported. So I will tell sys out enter age here. So I will accept the age into a variable. See, int age equals to scan dot next int, and that whatever age I told, I will pass it over here. Okay, I'll pass it over here. If the age is, if I'm able to initialize the age, it's fine. If not, I have to do it in a different manner. So this is all about it. Okay. So now when I execute the program over here, see. So now when I execute it, enter age, I'll give it as 25. See, age initialized, the age is 25. Now if I give it as minus 96, see, age cannot initialize and the age is still 0. So what did you do? You created an object of scan student. Scanner object got created. Enter age. You accepted the age and stored it into a variable age, and you are passing that age to the method here. That way we can do it in a beautiful manner. Okay, so this is all about encapsulation in a beautiful manner. Clear? We are done with the session, guys. Okay, so anyone is having any questions here? Anyone having any questions with respect to today's session here? Rest of you are all sleeping? No, right? Yeah, very good, very good, very good. Okay, so practice it, guys. Okay, so it's time for you all to practice it. Any confusions, drop me here. Okay, drop me a question. I'll be more than happy to respond. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're done with encapsulation for the day. Okay, so make sure plan up and study accordingly. Okay, and if any doubts, drop me a message. I'll try to respond as soon as possible. Okay, great, guys. Okay, so we shall wind up a session for today and catch up tomorrow with casting. Okay, tomorrow we are getting into typecasting. Okay, very important part. Okay, so thank you all. Take care. Bye bye.